Good evening, and this is Peter van Dop speaking again from the BelloLudi Borough, and tonight we're going to play BelloLudi American Civil War, and these are our big battle rules, and we're going to play a scenario that is loosely based on the first day of Gettysburg, 1863. You all know the battle. We're going to explain to you how this system works, and we're going to let you see how this particular battle tonight evolves. So here we have General Buford with his brigade. He's positioned them along the road, and he hopes to buy enough time to get the reinforcements, the Union reinforcements here. First on the table is this brigade, Southern Brigade. It arrives on table number 1, and that's important because we've got a reinforcement system. You see the rest of the table is fairly empty, and we're going to use this dice. It's a 4-sided dice, and every turn we're going to roll the dice, and that's going to determine where the reinforcements will go, and this will be table number 1 on my side, so it's exactly the same table. The brigade is there now. It's 1, here's the line, so there's 2, 3, 4. So the rules work as follows. I give an order to my brigade or the separate components, and then I'm going to roll this commander dice to see how many moves they can make. So in first instance, I'm going to give them a very broad order because I want them in line roughly from here to there. And they're going to try to perform that, and I want them in line because, as you can see, I'm now still in column, so and that's bad form if somebody starts shooting at us. So I want them to get in line. I want them first to move up, and then I want to, at the end, the last order will be get in line. So, and I'm rolling a 2. So I rolled a 2, and the brigade moved 2 moves forward and went into line. So the only one in range is now. Oh, they went 1 move forward and then went into line, because going into line is also an order. The only thing that can fire, it's got a range of 36 inches, and it's gonna fire on those blokes, their counterparts, and I have to roll a 5 to do that. And it's a hit. So the artillery was hit, and because all the shots that were fired hit, it also got a disorder there. It says one order, it's Dutch for disorder. So end of turn 1, the dice decided that an infantry brigade should come up on board number 2 for the Union, and as the carbines are still out of range, he decided not to move these guys because hey, they're in cover. But he did decide to move these guys, but they're not in range yet. And range is a pretty important thing in this rule. The gun fired but missed, because carbines and smoothbore muskets have a range of 18 inches, and the rifled muskets that most of the Union have a range of 24 inches. And this is the end of round 2. The first brigade has moved up a little bit. A second brigade of the Union has arrived. Cavalry is still there, and here they made a pretty bold move by moving closer to the southern side and dishing out a casualty. And this unit was hit by the cannonball, and as such has been in disorder. And you see behind there a next Confederate brigade coming up. End of turn 3, and this brigade has moved up Another brigade of Union infantry arrived here. The line is still holding, but you see these red dots appearing all over the battlefield, and those are casualty markers. So nothing dramatic yet, but they will mount and it will eventually lead to disappearance of units. And that brigade didn't move. This is a new brigade coming up, and it's all being crammed on one end of the table somehow. Where's the flank attack when you need it? Because this part of the battlefield is still quite empty. All right. Oh, and I forgot to mention, one cavalry unit has been wiped out. Battlefield is getting more and more crowded. Confederate brigade entered on number 4. The Union started moving. A combat was fought out here, and the cavalry was chased off, but more on that later. You see plenty of more red dots appearing, so you see that they are hurting each other, and this was a nasty surprise because a Union brigade came up and started to flank the Confederate brigade over here, and with fire they enfiladed them. First line taking substantial casualties. And here we have the Union Cavalry Brigade. It's now Gebroken Brigade or Broken Brigade. And basically, when a unit has a certain amount of stamina, and when it goes over half the stamina, then he will get shaken. This is the Dutch word, aangeslagen. Repeat after me, aangeslagen. And that means that when a brigade is broken, they have to move back away from the enemy towards the nearest table edge. And you see there's a medical station here, so that's where all the casualties are going. And this is the end of turn 4. So another round played, and this round showed us the full might of the Confederate army, rushing forward, opening fire on every front. And unfortunately, they received fire from the entire front as well. But as you can see, red dots everywhere and a lot of blue chips, which means aangeslagen or shaken. And that means that this brigade, the 1st brigade, is now finally broken, because they've got 4 hits, means shaken. They've got even more hits, they've got 6, is also shaken. The gun disappeared, but that doesn't count. And there's also here a unit with 5 hits is also shaken. So in the next round they're gonna have to retire away from the enemy. Union line still pretty much intact, but a little bit dented. So we'll see what the next round will be. This was round number 5. Alright, situation on the battlefield slightly different. This Confederate brigade made an attack, killed a unit, lost a unit, forcing that brigade to retire. One move, they moved back a little bit more, because if they moved one move they would have landed on the other unit, so we put them a little bit further back. A lot of rifle fire exchange. This brigade that was broken retired, rallied to unbroken status, but now lost a unit, so have to retire further back again, because there's 2 shaken, what am I saying? 3 shaken and 1 destroyed unit, so they'll probably move a little bit further back. And on the other side, this Union brigade has barely moved, but is setting up a desperate hold for reinforcements. And this brigade also is broken now because, am I saying this correctly? Yes. Two destroyed. Oh no, two shaken, one destroyed. And this one was interesting because the lead commander, Mr. Grant himself, or no, he wasn't at Gettysburg, tried to rally and wrote a blunder, causing these guys to move to 12 inches back. So there we have it. It's the end of turn 6, and it's slowly getting to the grand finale. Who will win? And I forgot to mention that the brave, but no, brave Union cavalry has disappeared from the table. So here we are, end of turn 7, and the Confederates are basically pushing relentlessly further and further into the Union line, and in this particular place disaster struck for the Union. As you can rewind it a little bit, but there were a lot of troops here. One brigade got broken, got off the table with 2 units, so the 3rd unit could never be rallied anymore. And then the 2 fresh units that were there were ordered to charge, but rolled a blunder. So basically they were inspired by their running comrades and took a tour to the rear. And that's the end of turn 7.